Always beating, enthusing, never cheesing or choosing. 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 All-star! Beating, enthusing, never cheesing or choosing. Always beating, enthusing, never cheesing or choosing. Always beating, enthusing, never cheesing or choosing. Always beating, enthusing, never cheesing. All-star!
Hello, everybody. Hello, folks, and welcome to the third episode of The Stick, the internet's #1 and best Homestar Runner podcast. I forgot the joke I was going to do to open this podcast up. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to My Brother Strong and Me, the an advice show for an advice show for Strong Badia.
The advice show for the gun-having era.
I'm your eldest brother, Strong Mad.
I'm your middleest brother, Travis Bad.
and I'm your youngest brother, Foxface Bad.
30 under 30 media luminary.
Foxface. She actually made the list this year. That came out like last night. Foxface was like number 26 on there. God, hey, by the way, when is Forbes going to recognize Sonic Fox? Because he absolutely deserves to have been. That man deserves to have been on a 30 under 30 list like since like 2 years ago, and he has not been on there yet once.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is fucking
even before Dragon Ball FighterZ came out.
Oh yeah, no, like that man was just like, he was a NetherRealm fucking menace. He cut his teeth on Skullgirls. He's been running around the fighting game since he was like 14. He is one of the most well-paid fighting game players in history, and he's 20, and he is still a full-time student. He literally cannot legally drink and is a full-time student, in addition to flying everywhere every weekend. God, I'm sorry. Sonic Fox is just a role model.
Yeah, anyways, folks, my name is Eden. Haven't introduced ourselves yet. My name is Eden. This is The Stick, and I'm here with David.
Hello.
And here we have my co-host, well, not my co-host, the server queen and host of HKIP, as well as it's Fearbaiting and the Wonder Yeerks. That is a very good name for a podcast. We have
I've long said that my talent is just naming podcasts, because every time we do a bit on one of my podcasts where we come up with a fake podcast, I am always able to rattle off a stupid but good enough nickname on the spot. It's my only improv talent. I'm responsible for such things as the Front Bottoms podcast, The Back Dicks, or the Harry Potter rewatch podcast. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Watch Them.
Fantastic Beasts and How to Get All of Them.
How to get them? Well, yeah, I don't have a bit for this. I just kind of started talking, anyways, today we are talking about the recurring segment on Homestar Runner, the Cheat Commandos, the very, very blatant G.I. Joe parody.
The existence of which on the site is just wild to begin with.
What I love about it's one of the first ones they did where it's just completely divorced from just about anything in the actual show beyond the fact that it contains the cheat type things in it.
It's long been my favorite. I think it's long been my favorite Homestar Runner thing.
Do you have a favorite Cheat Commando, Sarah?
Are we talking cartoon or like Cheat Commando?
Let's go with actual Cheat Commando. Which character is your favorite Cheat Commando?
I think that's gonna have to be. Oh my god, I've completely spaced on everyone's names. Holy shit, Krakataj.
That guy that flies that plane.
Movie night's my favorite night. It just might be my favorite night.
What about you, David?
Oh man, I think I might have to say Firebert, just because the entire thing about him is that he has a really, really bad commando name.
I mean, I have to honestly go with probably the obvious answer and just say my favorite is Gunhaver, because that's just a really funny name that has
It really is.
somehow accidentally informed my entire sense of humor now. It's just adding.
But if I'm not here, if I can't be Gunhaver, who will have gun?
Like, just the adding of needless er suffixes onto words has basically become my entire like sense of humor at this point, and I feel like it's the Cheat Commando's fault. Or unless Sergeant Marshy counts from that Cheat Commando's O's one. I don't know. Is Sergeant Marshy a Cheat Commando?
Well, they made a toy.
He's listed as possibly on the wiki.
Oh, yeah, possibly Sergeant Marshy, Mrs. Commanderson, and Gunhavet.
That's me, actually. By the way, I'm Gunhavet.
Came in. It was discontinued by Cheapest Free Toys after they put I don't know, maybe Eat It Kids on the package.
Oh my god!
So should we talk about like how the whole joke of Cheat Commando started on Homestar Runner?
Yeah,
it was the one with the Strong Badia Army female, right?
Yes.
It was like a one-off joke, if I'm not mistaken.
With Firebird, where the cheat made Strong Bad call him Firebird.
And he just because like I mean, for me that episode, like I didn't even remember it was from that, because that female's always been the home of Benedetto, primarily for me at least, is the joke I remember from that female. Which
Benedetto is such a good character. The whole thing about him is that he is a popcorn machine and he's always dying.
This is not germane to the topic, but I just kind of want to ask it. What's your guys' favorite female? Because for me, off the dome, my favorite is Bottom 10.
Bottom 10 is really good.
Shokozuma's Revenge. This is all fat-free, right?
I think
Shut up, lady.
I think in terms of the one that's made me laugh hardest is probably either Virus or Virus or Pants. Or long, Virus or Long Pants, or whatever the episode with that one is called.
The one that the one that I probably reference the most, and thus it probably has to be my favorite, is Caffeine.
Caffeine, which I can actually. Oh yeah, is that the one where he makes Strong Sad drink a bunch of coffee?
Yeah, he mixes a couple of heaping spoonfuls of Senka into Strong Sad's orange juice and collects the ensuing data.
Oh, yeah.
The quote that I always come back to is fruit salad as a rock.
God, I think that this show is just definitely like the best for just producing complete like nonsense that are just get like jammed like a shard of glass into your brain.
Yeah, it's like that one episode of The Simpsons where Homer gets an X-ray and there's a crayon lodged in his brain. Like that's just what Homestar Runner is to me.
It's just permanent brain damage.
Yeah, like it's weird how like that's pervasive even as an adult, because like I think the words "I'm Reggie Toupee" like once I just think that to myself like once a week at the very least, or like. Fucking half the shit that Homsar says, I don't even know if it's actually something that he says, but like on the way into work this morning, just like a compulsion, like my eyes went black and the words "I'm a Ruby Tuesday" came out of my mouth. I don't even know if that's something that he says, but it sounds accurate enough.
It does.
It might be. But yeah, after they showed up in in armies like really briefly.
It was literally just the cheat dressed as Firebird, and then they showed up in the Cheat Commando's ad, right? With the
that Strong Bad making helicopter noises.
Yes.
Apparently, yeah, because they did actually show the Cheat Commando toy of Firebird at the end of Armies. It's an Easter egg at the end. You can see a picture of Firebird, and the branding actually says "Not a good commando name" along the side.
That's probably what did it. They just, made that Easter egg, and they were like, we could do a whole this.
We could just make a completely unrelated series of cartoons on our website about this nonsense. It's just at this. I'm assuming that it is just straight up like G.I. Joe and the A-Team. Like it's.
Yeah.
I think the helicopter noise was also used in that one email about the strong baddie of local news with Sky Cheat Traffic.
Yeah, when he's just tossing the cheat into the air.
Yeah, strong bad throwing the cheat in the air.
I think Commandos in the Classroom is like one of my most watched like Homestar Runner videos like of all. Like I think that the one where Homestar swallows a fly and the bottom 10 B-mail.
Bug and mouth disease.
Bug and mouth disease, yes, thank you.
You're welcome. That's
where he just wakes up and shouts, "Strong bad, I swallowed your computer." And then he gets into the frying pan. It's very good. And it was that was like the first Homestar Runner cartoon I think I remember discovering. But like I've seen Commandos in the Classroom so many times, and I am never not thinking about that part when Gunhaver is explaining the pure to teen choice behavior number 3, and like the infographic pops up when Firebird and the blue laser are just like standing outside, and they like both like react to it and jump back ever so slightly because it's like a bear, because like it was like the first one was like a bathroom marker of like a man and then a woman and then a bear.
It's
and also the way Reynolds just says, "I've got dysentery" at the very end is very good.
I was actually banned from watching Cheat Commandos in the Classroom when I was like 9 or something, or I don't remember how old I was, but I was banned from watching it because of when Reynolds says, "I'm going to go home and get teen pregnant" at the beginning.
That's one of the funniest. I think that might be one of the funniest lines in like all of Homestarverse.
My mom heard that. I can't remember how, and she just completely banned me from watching that episode.
That's really good.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but like honestly,
meanwhile, my dad is like completely obsessed with Senior Card Gauge and has been since the very beginning.
Senior Card Gauge, oh God. I mean, we end up talking about him in every episode. So.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a Card Gauge episode.
He is an omnipresent cryptid in the Homestar Runner universe, in my opinion.
He's one of the only characters that like I find genuinely uncomfortable to like sometimes have on screen. Like he's actually unpleasant.
After the events involving the family might could, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, like he's genuinely unpleasant to see on the screen sometimes. But in Commandos in the Classroom, I think that's got one of my many like Homestar Runner cellar door kind of moments, which is it's not a particularly like big line. There's a moment in that episode where it's number 2, I think, of the peer to teen choice behaviors, and he's imagining them as slices of pizza, and at the end of his thing he goes, pepperoni. And for whatever reason, that's just like getting lodged in my brain. Yeah, but in between Shopping for Danger and Cheat Commandos, they did the Cheat Commandos O's commercial.
Time to break. Fast.
But yeah, the Cheat Commandos O's. I always like that. I always like that one quite a bit because is that the one where they have like the one character? Does one of that characters actually ever say they're not O's in the commercial? Because I always remember them saying that, and I don't remember if it's a different internet video that I saw that had a similar gag.
It might have been
because that's the only one where the Cheat Commandos O's joke, like it's a joke that I've seen other shows do before. Like any fake cereal is something O's.
Some very weird trivia from the Wikipedia page of the Cheat Commandos O's video. If you press the back button at the end of this tune, it always goes back to main page 8.
Which one is main page 8? I'm gonna check that out. Oh, it's the "Would you like to ride in my beautiful balloon," which is another one of the creepier moments on the website.
Cheat Commandos has a cellar door moment for me as well. In the part 2 of the 2-part episode, when Gunhaver has just broken Blue Laser Commander out of jail effectively, and he looks at the toilet on the wall and goes, "Ha! This toilet has the green water in it. Cool."
What I love about that line is there's nothing in the entire preceding episode or anything that happens to provide any reason for why he says that.
It's an absolute so big gulps, huh? Line.
Yeah, he says it for no reason whatsoever.
I also very much enjoy how Flash Fight loves the name of Firebird in that one.
Yeah, he goes, I wouldn't
Yes.
want to waste such an excellent commando name.
Yeah. Also great is the fact that at the end of part one of the two-part episode, there's Viola plays it.
And come back.
Wow.
And then
So-
and then they completed the second one at the very end where it just says Ets and Toys.
What I like about Cheat Commandos, though, is I really think it highlights one of the things that the Brothers Chaps and Cheat Commandos, and sorry, not Cheat Commandos and Homestar Runner do in general, is taking a one-off joke and then just building like a comical amount of scaffolding around that one joke to the point where you kind of like it's very hard to introduce people to the show because you have to explain.
It's like jumping into a Spider-Man comic, like in the 6th volume.
Yeah, like they have like the Cheat Commandos thing from that you get like Crack Stuntman, for example, who's a character that can't exist without Cheat Commandos, and nothing he does makes sense unless you've seen like a bunch of other episodes. Like they've built an entire world that I don't know. Does Cheat Commandos, like the TV show, and this is just a general open sort of question, does it exist like in the world of like Free Country USA, or is it its own universe? Because Crack Stuntman's a normal man with a regular boss, like with a boss and a job
and a girlfriend,
like, a girlfriend and like life, and he's voicing animated,
and apparently a 2-story hot tub.
Like I have like, if we're looking at like degrees of reality, does he exist more than the Homestar universe?
That's genuinely upsetting, and I don't like to think about it.
The toys definitely exist in the universe because they are the characters that made the commercial for the toys. It's Strong Bad Homestar at Coach Z playing with the toys.
Does that mean that does that mean that the entirety of the next episode is diegetic? Like if they can play with the toys in real life, does that mean that like all of the cutaways to Crack Stuntman talking to what's the character's name? I completely forgot. H. Mendez. Does that mean that like all of the cutaways, like that's just what happens on the television screen, like when you're watching Commandos? Like are those cutaways diegetic? I need to know.
I think they're supposed to be.
Why is Crack Stuntman a normal man?
Yeah, like,
they need a normal man to appeal to the teens and tell them not to play with too many knives.
He looks like he looks like if Guile scrubbed out like 2 days into military training and just did voice acting.
He's kind of a Duke Nukem looking guy.
Yeah, I mean that's the other comparison I was thinking, but I just kind of went Guile for no real reason other than I'd like to imagine him shouting Sonic Boom.
The thing, like to go back to like the kids don't play with too many knives there, or what's it called? Important Rap Song, I believe is the official title of the episode. That whole a rap song about safety and spring break, but that whole episode again like kind of goes to the whole point that they just construct an entire 80s pastiche around a one-off joke from a female, like because that whole
Limousine was that too.
That's true. Limousine, because Limousine, again, are normal human men, and they exist and interact with, like, whatever it is that Strong Bad is, and whatever it is that the Cheat and Homestar are, because he talks to Larry Palarancini in, like, several episodes.
Yeah, and all of them are Matt Chapman wearing different outfits in front of a green screen.
That's true. I like how, like, deliberately shitty all of, like, the scenes where he talks to Larry Palarancini is, like, they're recorded like he's on a Skype call that keeps dropping frame rate really fast. Like, I know this is really off topic, but I've always enjoyed that.
Yeah, they had good cameras. They just chose to use like a shitty 2005 webcam.
Like they continue to use it. It's like Strong Bad says in that one what do you call that one Halloween costumes episode. In a year where everyone has a 200 gigapixel camera on their phones, why do you still send me photos that look like they were taken from the bottom of a swamp water? Like anyways, to get back to the Cheat
Wait, hold on.
Commandos.
Before we get back to it, do y'all mind if I just do another tangent that I just thought of, which is it's kind of it's about my girlfriend. It's a little bit sappy, but it's just very funny. It is germane slightly, at least.
I go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So like a month or two into dating my girlfriend Andrea, we were at this bar, and I like let her out of the booth we were sitting in to go to the bathroom, and I was like, and she was like, and I was like, you don't fall in. She just says, I can make it on my own. And then I just shouted her in the middle of the bar, are you little fucking brother? And like I very much identified that as like the moment in the relationship that I knew that there was something extremely special.
Yeah, you two are Lil Brother and Tenderfoot.
Oh no!
Is that how you see them? So I was trying to do the strong bad voice. There's a two-legged elephant. Oh, I see you as a. What does he say? I see you as a no-legged hippo or something like that. I can't remember how he describes Strong Sad.
Strong Sad was like, do you see me as a one-legged puppy? No, I see you as a two-legged elephant named Tenderfoot.
Oh yeah, that's how Tenderfoot comes into existence.
Oh, Tenderfoot.
Oh God.
Can you help me make the most out of life?
Oh God. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say none of this makes any sense unless you've seen like at least 3 episodes of the show that explain. Well, no, just one. The whole crying, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody listens to this podcast who hasn't at least seen 3 episodes of Homestar Runner.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Like this is very bad at being an introduction to the show.
Oh, absolutely. I think we were talking a little bit about the important rap song. Can we get a little bit more into that? Because what is the difference between fly and fresh? Because I don't know what it is.
That's a good question.
There is a difference.
I mean, we're kind of taking Gunhaver on his authority right now that he knows the difference.
Listen, Gunhaver has a 2-story hot tub with an underwater fireplace. I will take this man's authority on anything.
It's right. I should have said it was,
I would trust this. I would trust this man to tell me things about myself that are patently untrue. Crack Stuntman could tell me that I have 4 feet, and I would say, yes, that is correct.
So I should have said this is obviously. So this is, I believe, Crack Stuntman out of character doing this rap. But what I also do like that in the opening. To this video, he refers to himself as the voice of the gun shaver. Because I think that's a thing that he actually doesn't know the name of the character he voiced on Cheat Commandos.
Yeah, like it's heavily implied that he's famous for some other reason, and he just ended up doing this voice. But I don't remember if they ever got into what that actually was.
I've gone through like a couple of the Crack Stuntman episodes, like just on HR Wiki and stuff, and I don't think Crack Stuntman actually has much of a backstory.
He debuted on Marzipan's answering machine.
Man, that's such an underrated series. I love Marzipan's answering machine so much.
Also, apparently his last name is pronounced Stuntman. Like with an apostrophe replacing the E in stunt or the A in Stuntman.
Yeah. Also, do remember that he does always introduce himself as Crack Stuntman.
He insisted on changing the script, providing he also voiced Krakotage and introduced that character for his girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, he voiced Krakotage once. That is a non-canon iteration of Krakotage, and that is not the Krakotage that I know and love.
Yes, in the next episode, Crack Stuntman insisted on providing Krakotage's voice instead of Gunhaver's because, quote, he liked the rhyming guy's lines better.
Also, he's apparently he's also worked at Bubs' concession stand, maybe. And because Bubs says in the email original that that he was one of the replacement Bubs, obviously preceding fan favorite Onion Bubs.
Now, do you? I have a question. This might be an upsetting question, so feel free to not go down this road if you don't want to. But like, if something happens to Bubs and the replacement Bubs is tapped for duty, is it like a Santa Claus-esque transformation?
God.
Like does Crack Stuntman put on the orange shirt and then suddenly his skin turns blue?
That's bad to think about.
The Bubs clause.
There must always be a Bubs in Bubs' concession.
It just reminds me of that one. Do you know One Giant Hand or Pixelated Boat on Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did a comic that was just it was the end of the beginning of the Santa Claus with like Tim Allen standing over Santa Claus's body with a gun. And he's like, oh, he goes, you've killed him, Dad. He's like, no, I've set you free. Santa Claus ruled over us or something like that. And you see him turning into Santa Claus like, no, Billy, you have to do it. You have to kill me. And that's all I can think about anytime anyone brings up anything to do with the Santa Claus now.
It's weird how like there was like a mainstream movie where Santa Clausification was the defining plot point.
Yeah, not only does he murder Santa, like it's manslaughter. He TFs into Santa Claus.
There are some very graphic scenes of him TFing in that movie.
Santa Claus 2 specifically has like some weird ones.
There's no way that there's not someone online who's like horny for that.
Oh, Eden, I'm almost certain that I've explicitly like met people who are horny about that.
Like, I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere online on a channel like age progression man 69 on YouTube who's cut together like a super cut of every single time you see the beard starting to grow in Santa Claus. And
yeah, you're not wrong.
It's right beside all of the scenes in Evan Almighty where he turns into Moses again.
Yeah, he shares that person is a collaborator with that YouTuber who just posts clips of petrification.
Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Hey, yeah, so you guys want to talk about Homestar Runner?
No. I kind of want to talk about the guy who has a petrification fetish, but if you insist.
Remember when the elves tied up an overweight Homestar Runner and shoved a donut in his mouth? Because I remember that.
I don't, and I'm trying really hard not to.
That statement dealt psychic damage.
He's rolled 2d6 psychic damage after hearing that. Also, apparently, Crack Stuntman was also in the Fist of Knuckles series, but I don't know where that was from. Oh, the email rated. He was in the one of the triple R-rated movies that Strong Bad tries to go see. So he must be a movie star then. That must be what he's famous for. He just is an actor.
Yeah, kind of a Lucas Lee type character.
Yeah, where he's constantly trying to get out of being typecast as Gunhaver, but consistently failing.
Not to throw us on another tangent, but like, do you think Scott Pilgrim holds up?
Okay, wait. Just hold on 1 second here. The only thing I gotta know is how that connects to this.
Someone said Lucas Lee.
I did.
Right. Sorry. Go ahead. I just wanted to know because it felt very out of the blue.
I've just been thinking a lot about that movie lately, and I jumped at the opportunity to talk about it.
I'm gonna say no. You go ahead, David. You were gonna say something. I think I cut you off.
I think that a lot of it definitely still holds up. I watch that movie at least 1 or 2 times every year still, just because I love the characters so much. And it's obvious the actors just had a really great time and just got along super well.
Man, that whole Mae Whitman character arc sucks, though.
Oh, God.
My biggest problem with that whole thing is it's another one. It has the kind of the Rick and Morty effect about it, where Scott Pilgrim is a bad guy and is explicitly made out to be a bad guy. And then and then like a legion of like nerdy dudes go like, no, I'm like Scott Pilgrim now.
Well, Scott Pilgrim. Well, Scott Pilgrim was much more made out to be a shitty dude in like, I mean, the thing about Scott Pilgrim is that, like, you should go into that movie and the first time you meet Scott Pilgrim is when you learn that he is dating a 17-year-old, and you should immediately just jump to the opinion, oh, this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, he really sucks.
And that's introduced in the first 2 seconds of the movie.
Yeah. But for some reason, like, people just see that and they're like, well, I mean, nope, nobody's perfect.
The real protagonist of that movie, the real protagonist of that movie is definitely Wallace, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, don't remember who Wallace is.
Wallace is his gay roommate.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say, even though she's obviously not handled very well, the lesbian evil ex.
Yeah, Mae Whitman.
Yeah, I definitely like. I feel her energy, even if she's obviously a really badly written character. Anyways, Homestar Runner is a cartoon that we're talking about.
Yeah,
From the internet.
Let's talk about the two-parter.
All right.
Yeah.
The
So
two-parter.
we meet oh my god, I cannot, what the fuck's his name? Flash Fight.
Yeah.
We finally meet Flash Fight for the first time out of the commercial. Also, wait, sorry. This is a tangent, but it's related to this at least. Is the only time that Foxface shows up in the rap video?
Foxface is a real character? I thought you were doing a bit.
No.
No, that was one of the toys from the toy commercial.
Yeah, Foxface is a character.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
the
yeah,
girl.
She's the honey who is either fresh or fly in rap song in the rap song. Oh yeah, that's right. I just watched that. How did I literally 10 minutes before we started recording? God. But yeah, I think so. I don't think she ever really shows up beyond just kind of being a background character when they need like a female cheat commando just in a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the notes on her toy say, lady type, natural hair color, totally has it together, and not one of the guys.
I mean, that's about how I'm trying to live my life.
Especially the natural hair color part.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What I do love about
God, that'd be so much funnier. Can you guys wait to post this episode until like a month and a half from now when I've finally gotten the money to dye my entire head of hair hot pink?
Honestly, given the fact, given the amount of essay related stuff I have to do and how well I can manage my time, that just might be when the editing gets done. But yeah. No, for real though, I'm going to try my best to get this out as quickly as possible. I don't want to be, I want to hopefully do this more consistently, especially because I'm not in a bad spot right now. But anyways, the first one, what I like also is that it has two of the better jokes, in my opinion, in Cheat Commandos in general, which is when he says, CC does, let's move.
Yeah.
And he's like, wouldn't just CCs be shorter and make more sense? And then immediately after that, they have the Bureau of Elite Fighting Forces, or BEEF.
Actually, that would be Beth.
Yes, that would fine. The Bureau of Every Elite Fighting Force.
Beef.
Which is not only a great joke on its own, but it also points out that there must be regional cheat commandos in different countries, and they're specifically the strong battalion cheat commandos, because if there's more than one elite fighting force, they're part of some larger group.
We see that in Let Us Give Tanks, right? Because we see those other cheat commandos, the green helmets, in the midst of when these green helmets are not associated with the cheat commandos the base play set. They are not associated with that. So those guys are obviously a different cheat commando regime. Oh
yeah, that's right. They've got 50 of them.
Yeah, there's Subterfuge, Dry Ghost, Swamp Slash, and Fudge Clank.
Well, those are the not quite good, not always, sometimes good, sometimes bad mercenary team.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about
Fudge Clank is the clown. Does he actually ever come back in the rest?
Can you say that again, Eden? You kind of trailed off. Uh-oh.
Eden?
Hello?
Yep, there you are.
Okay.
Can you ask your question again? Your network connection kind of crapped out there.
I'm gonna love editing this. what I was asking, just like, does where was I? Oh yeah, does Fudge Clank ever come back in that episode beyond the one kind of gag shot where they show him do like the little like he comes in dressed up as a clown?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, Fudge Clank. I don't even remember which one Fudge Clank is.
He's like they show like the three.
Oh,
of them,
that one. Yeah, the clown. Yep.
Yep. And
then at the end, there's the Easter egg of, I think, Tarantula singing about Fudge Clank instead of Trudgemank.
Get down with the Fudge Clank.
Oh, I also love the song that they sing when they drive the fucking oh my god, what's it called? The fucking Ramshankle?
It's the Ramshankle, and you know dang well it's made of old toys that we couldn't sell.
And then also the continuity, the just the random continuity of the fucking pony fights.
Yes.
And non-violent dressage mishaps volume 2.
I wanted to watch fighting ponies.
Also,
one of my favorite small details about when we see pony fights is the screen that just says like rated PG-13 for like lots and lots of equine mishaps. Or whatever the fuck it says.
All right, I've got a question here. It's a very kind of one-off line, but Blue Laser, when they show that he's there playing televised video games, he yells, "What kind of power-up is Moist Beam?" And I'm just curious as to what you guys think Moist Beam would do.
I think it's just he's playing Mega Man, and like he's probably playing like a bootleg Mega Man where like you pick like Mega Man, probably like Mega Man bootleg Mega Man 3, because then he probably picks up like the Bubble Beam, but it's called the Moist Beam.
So it's like a fan translation of Mega Man.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me. Side note, there's now a really, really good video that Brian David Gilbert put out on Polygon, ranking all of the robot masters from Mega Man.
It's a very good video.
Honestly, like I've just started watching Polygon's videos, so I'm catching up on a lot of stuff. But Brian David Gilbert is probably my favorite of the Polygon boys right now. He just seems like a very nice guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's me just.
And I'm really sad that Gil and Gilbert stopped being a thing, or at least temporarily.
They're on break right now. Yeah.
That was Pat Gill, right?
Yeah.
Patrick Gill. Yes.
Patrick Gill. Yes. Did they stop doing Please Retweet? Is that a thing still?
Oh yeah, they could, because they tricked because they got them to retweet because well,
oh, they did?
Yeah, because so I hate talking about this guy, but Nick Robinson was involved in the coup at the very end because he cosplayed Helix from ARMS. Mm-hmm. And then there were like 4 photos, and Toad wearing a diaper was inserted into one of the photos at 1% opacity, and Nintendo of America retweeted it.
I mean, oh man, that fucking sucks because that dude fucking sucks. But that's also a really funny way to do it.
It's hilarious, but it's also like just garbage boy Stinkman belongs in the shithole.
Which is a Monster Factory reference for those who haven't watched Monster Factory. You should do that thing.
Yeah, I've been watching it, but there's a lot of it, and
there is a lot of it,
and a lot of like I've seen all the important bits. I've seen melting Bart Simpson. I've seen I think Dog Should Vote. It's all there now in my brain, just rattling around.
Right, it's the other crayon in your brain.
Yes, honestly, there's a few now. My brain's mostly crayon at this point. Like it's largely wax. Homestar Runner, Monster Factory, just anything with the McElroys ever since joining this fucking Discord. But yeah. Also, the other thing I was gonna mention about the 2-part episode, beyond the fact that the callous disregard that the military shows for its soldiers in this one, which I think is excellent social commentary, but also the fact that when Blue Laser Commander has a pamphlet specifically prepared to recruit Reynold that just says, "So they never let you on any missions. Blue Laser can help."
Yeah, that I do really appreciate Reynold because as somebody who, you know, has an office job and used to live in apartments, and the only thing that I cared about was needing to go grocery shopping soon. That really spoke to me. And of course, the whole thing. One of his quotes from, I think, one of the earliest episodes of Cheat Commandos has been something that comes up all the time between me and my wife, which is the thing about, like, step off, blue lasers, put down those diskettes and fiscal reports. Don't make me use that gun that I have.
Actually, I think I found confirmed proof here that the show is like diegetic.
Sorry. My brain just said to me the words, remember when Gunhaver fucking killed that guy?
Yeah, he killed Flashfight, I think, at the end.
Wait, what?
He fucking murked him, remember?
No.
He was like, don't worry about it. He's wearing that bulletproof vest.
And then Reinforcements walks in
right.
with the bulletproof.
He just straight up shoots Flashfight in the chest.
Gunhaver killed him, man. Gunhaver killed a cheat? Is it cheat?
Yeah. This is also social commentary about what happens when you have gun.
You kill a cheat.
Okay,
Yeah.
But I think I have proof here that the show is diegetic in the Homestar universe, because at the end of two-part episode part 1, if you click on the T, you'll see Strong Bad and Homestar Runner on the couch watching the episode, and Strong Bad goes, "Boy, that Gunhaver sure knows how to kill a cliffhanger." And then Homestar Runner says, "I can't wait to see what kind of restaurant those hamsters open up next." So I think it is 100% in their universe. It's just a TV show, and Crack Stuntman is just a normal man, just who lives in Free Country, USA, maybe. Because, like,
I think that's somewhere in the USA.
I think that's an important question. Is Free Country, USA literally in the States, or is it some sort of, like, area you can visit, like Sweet Puttin' Cakes, where you just have to think about Strong Bad a lot and you're there?
If you find a way to go there, don't tell me.
This honestly seems like a good idea. Also in that same episode, one of the Blue Laser minions calls Blue Laser his dad, which is kind of an uncomfortable thing. Blue Laser minion 1 goes at the end. It goes, "Do you think Dad just forgot to pick us up?" And then the Blue Laser minion 2 goes, he doesn't like it when he doesn't like it when you call him that." So my question is, do the Blue Laser minions call him Daddy?
I think I have to go home.
This podcast is over now.
Yeah, we have questions.
Wait. Whose children are the twins?
Oh no.
The Blue Laser twins.
Yeah, let's explore this space.
Play with me.
I don't want to explore this space.
Come on, play with me. Play with me in this space for a minute. How did this happen? Who's responsible for this?
Gunhaver and Gunhavet had the kids, and Blue Laser kidnapped them from the fucking nursery room at the hospital.
See, that's way more wholesome than I was expecting. Like, it's not like the best.
Yes, I wanted to get out of this space immediately, so I just gave you the best answer I could come up with on the fly.
Okay,
and the cashier requested a price check on 2 twins.
All right, let's leave this. Yeah, let's leave this space now. It's been about 50 minutes. I think we talked. I think the only one we haven't talked about quickly is should probably go into Pistols for Pandas.
Let us give tanks.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let us give tanks and pistols for pandas. So, sorry, yeah.
I guess my playlist must have been missing that. I was watching them off of a playlist, and I was just distrusting that this playlist list labeled Cheat Commandos All Videos would have all the videos in the Cheat Commandos series.
It didn't have Let Us Give Tanks, or
it had Let Us Give Tanks. It did not have Pistols for Pandas.
Well, Pistols for Pandas, they're just like in an Easter egg. It's mostly a Crack Stuntman video. I just think he counts.
Okay.
Those pandas need all.
We talked a little bit about fucking the about Let Us Give Tanks. The only thing that I really remember of Let Us Give Tanks off the dome that I really like is Gunhaver exploding out of the already cooked turkey.
even though you just saw him back at the headquarters playset.
Yeah.
My favorite is I'm thankful for the gift of rhyme. And then there's
I'm
like another
also
one.
thankful for this
lime. And like lastly, another one that gets stuck in my head constantly is the song he plays at the end, that by all our play sets and by all our play sets and by all our play sets and toys. A holiday classic. Yeah. Honestly, like there's not that I always thought there was more Cheat Commandos than there actually was. There's only like 7 or 8 videos that actually have them in it.
That's true. Yeah.
Actually, sorry, it's 11, but one of the 11 is both parts of the 2-part episode, and 2 Crack Stuntman episodes that only kind of include them, like the important rap song.
They include Gunhaver by virtue of including Crack Stuntman.
I mean, there is that bit in Pistols for Pandas in the Easter egg where you see just Gunhaver just firing away at some enclosed pandas. Which they make it unclear as to whether or not he's shooting real pandas or pandas in the show. Because the other character, again, in that sort of very meta thing Homestar Runner does a lot, seems concerned that he's doing this, and then Gunhaver responds to him as Crack Stuntman. Like saying, I don't, like he's just happy to have his old job back.
Yeah. Pistols for Pandas, the organization, is what was introduced in that answering machine that you were talking about, where he calls and leaves Marzipan a message to say stop protesting at their rallies.
Oh yeah, because she's like, was it I can't remember exactly why. Is it because she's like, was it too much or not enough in terms of her protesting? I can't remember the reason.
It's a good question. My guess is too much.
Because I never really watched the Marzipan's answering machines very often, and I totally forgot that there was even a reference to them on Marzipan's answering machine, so I've completely forgotten about why that is. I'm on there right now.
Yeah, Marzipan's answering machine has some of the best lines from the entire website. Like, there's at least one of these in every single in every single answering machine, which is just Strong Bad calling with a extremely poorly planned prank call. And one of them is just him saying, Marzipan, look, this is goat face. I have a goat for a face. Not that my face is a goat's face or my head is a goat's head. Like, my face is an entire goat.
It's like a reverse centaur.
Yeah,
that's another thing I don't like to think about.
The reverse centaur.
In that case, I think we have questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've really exhausted the well here on Cheat Commandos, folks. We've got a question here from the Get Up Noise, who asks, characters I've always wondered about is the voice actors, Crack Stuntman, his girlfriend, and Chimendez. Those folks, what's their deal?
I think we actually already kind of covered that.
We've talked about it a little bit, but my question is still like, for example, like Chimendez, or like, and I think we can also drag Cherry Greg into this as well. Do like, again, in what, like, I think we've kind of shown that like Crack Stuntman has to exist sort of diegetically with the rest of the characters. But what about like those other sort of voice actors and kind of directors and people who exist like externally? Because Mendez, you never see him. He's just a slightly racist Mexican accent, really.
Right.
Well, yeah, you see his silhouette, and then you also see his cheat commando, Agent Mendez.
Agent Mendez, which is a very good joke to me.
It is.
But yeah, I guess, yeah, their whole kind of deal, I guess, is just that they're for some reason regular humans who do TV shows about whatever it is that the cheat is as a secret agent.
It's weird. This is getting to weird echelons, and it's giving me a headache.
Yeah, I don't know. They're regular human people who exist in this world for some reason. Because, like, I always used to think that Marzipan was technically like a regular human woman, but she definitely doesn't have arms. And in that characters from Yonder website, when they show her bending at the knees, it's like her neck that's bending. So I think that she's got her knee in her neck or something like that. Like, Yeah, definitely not human, I guess is the point I'm trying to make here. Also, is Pistols for Pandas 501c3 so they can deduct it from their taxes?
That's a good question. They did hire crack stuntmen, so whether they're a nonprofit is up for debate.
That's true. He does claim they're a nonprofit despite wearing his new sunglasses that he holds very close to his heart. He does claim they're a nonprofit. Also, I think you had an answer for this one, David. Can those Crockabit asks, can those cheat plushies even be acquired anymore?
Okay, so for those who don't know, they're briefly, I think around 2003 to 2004, were there were Kick the Cheat plushes sold through the Homestar store, and they're the cheat, and it has a little sensor inside that can sense when you've like slapped it or punched it or obviously kicked it. And they only made a limited number of them. I was sad that I didn't get one at the time, but I was a 14-year-old and thus didn't have money to call my own. But now, if you so today is the 14th of November 2018, and there is a new listing on eBay for a Working the Cheat plush stuffed Homestar Runner Strong Bad 2003 harmless junk. So, and it starts at $299.99.
I like that they picked a nice, concise name for their eBay listing.
Yeah, SEO on eBay is just wild. Like, you have to put all of the possible words that anybody could be looking for that are tangentially related to the thing you're selling.
Elsa, Spider-Man, Family Finger Party, Family Finger Song, cheap, harmless junk toy. And lastly, funniest moments. And lastly, a squeak
gone wrong.
Epic
gone
fail.
Sexual.
Ben Shapiro epically mocks and owns the cheat plushie live on University Debate.
Share for 10,000 free V-Bucks.
Homestar Runner voice. Okay, this is epic. I can't do the lisp, but okay, this is epic. Can you say okay, this is epic in a Homestar voice, David?
Yes. So Matt Chapman said at one point, I don't remember where, that Homestar's voice impediments were mostly because he was saying all the lines through like a big toothy grin into the microphone. So let me fashion one of those real quick. Okay, this is epic.
Thank you.
Thanks. I just needed that sound bite.
Oh, that's a ringtone for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, call 1-800-555-THE-STICK and we can hook you up with a Homestar saying, okay, this is epic ringtone. And annoy your friends with an obscure reference to a small podcast.
That's a text tone. Like your phone starts going off in a meeting. Like, okay, this is epic. Okay, this is epic. Sorry, I need to take this.
It just immediately gets fired from your job when people hear that. Just the boss doesn't even like say anything. It's just whenever that, like, if you get a text message and that's your text alert, it's just always a text of your pink slip to whatever job you're currently working at.
Schrodinger's text.
Just, as long as you don't answer it, you keep the job. Last but not least, we have a question from, I'm not sure if this is a response to something we said or if this is a question that they asked because I don't know what it means, but a squeaky guy asked, what do they know that we don't?
All.
I think that they were responding to something that one of us said earlier.
I think that any cartoon, like, especially from the era of like the 80s and 90s that was specifically meant to sell merchandise, they know more than we do about almost everything.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, I think even the creator of Penny Arcade probably knows way more than any of us do because like he somehow turned that like absolute hogwash into like a massive booming business.
Yeah, I mean, it got popular enough for Homestar Runner to make a reference to it, so there's that.
Wait, when?
Oh, there was a strong bad email about webcomics.
Oh yeah, that's right. And they they referenced Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff in that one too.
It was either Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff or some other. It may have been like Pokey the Penguin, which is another very, very crudely drawn webcomic that may be the oldest still running webcomic on the internet. I think it started in 1998.
Oh geez, it's as old as I am. Because the line, just for anyone who doesn't know, the line that I'm talking about is when he goes, and if writing jokes is too hard for you, you can just MS Paint your way to a non-punchline. And that sounds like Sweet Bro and Jeff. But yeah, I think I wonder if Homestar Runner will ever do a reference to Wallace and Shawn.
Do you mean Boston and Shawn?
Shit, yeah. Oh. I was thinking, like, I think my brain had Wallace and Gromit and Boston and Shawn in the same like mental
Wallace Shawn.
Yeah, Wallace and Shawn or Boston. And...
No. His name is Wallace Wells.
Wait. So like in his one episode, like Homestar gonna show up and he's like, I ate too much grass. He's like, you should have used a lawnmower. Then that's a reference to obscure fetish webcomic Boston and Shawn there. Anyways, I think that
hang on. Let me link a Pokey the Penguin strip in the chat real quick so you can see about MS painting your way to a non-ending.
Right, I'm just gotta open that link.
Yeah, that's about a Pokey the Penguin comic strip.
What the hell is going on?
I love it.
How much money? Okay, hold on. Quick question: how much money do you think Pokey the Penguin is pulling on Patreon?
Probably about $23.
I'm opening it.
Okay, Eden. Winner is whoever gets closest without going over.
Well, the smallest problem is because I thought you were asking a genuine question. I just opened Pokey the Penguin's Patreon, so I know the answer now. I probably would have said around $60 and been very wrong.
It's $199.
That is about $199 too many dollars for that comic I just read.
It's been a part of people's lives for so long. I imagine that, it's well worth it to those people.
But like, I genuinely, is this like supposed to be deliberately bad? Because
yes.
I think so.
Because it doesn't make any sense, even ironically. Like they've got like this is how Pokey and his friends defeated the end, and it's just all crossed out. Like I don't understand the point of this comic. Anyways, folks, I think that's going to bring us to the end of this particular episode of The Stick. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Just going to run through the folks you've been listening here today on The Stick, Noise Space's best and only Homestar Runner themed podcast. I have been Eden. You can find me on @TP_Albuquerque on Twitter or on Tumblr @the_Albuquerque. And any number of misspellings of the phrase Turning Point Albuquerque or TP_Albuquerque on your particular social media of choice. And also listen to the other podcasts on Noise Space, like this, Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, or I don't know, My Pod Cabbages. There's my two shoutouts for this one. David?
Yep, I'm David. You can find me on Twitter at Daves with 3 V's, DAVVVES, and on Tumblr at DAVVVD. And I'm going to be starting another podcast here pretty soon. I just got the art back for it, so I'm pretty excited about that. You can follow the Twitter for The Stick at @TheStickPod on Twitter.
That was a good idea to mention that. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Do I go now?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. You can find me You can find me on Twitter at Sunhatzhenya. That's SUNHATZHENYA. That's also what my handle is on Twitch, where I stream speedruns. I've been learning Mega Man lately, which is a very fun speed game. And you can also find me on Mastodon, which is also Sunhatzhenya at snouts.online if you happen to be on Mastodon. Also, I'm on Tumblr, Chie Satanakas. That's ChieSatonakas. And I also host 3 podcasts. Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, the Leftism podcast, Fearbaiting, which is a horror movie podcast where me and my friend Blair watch horror movies and talk about them from queer idiots' point of views, and the Wonder Yeerks, where Blair and I and another friend, Sara, get together and reread the Animorphs books, which are fucking terrifying, frankly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody, thank you so much for listening to another episode of The Stick, and remember to buy all our play sets and toys. All right?
Wait, should we sing it? Should we sing it?
3, 2, 1. Buy all our play sets.
Buy all our play sets and toys!
A short addendum here. I would also like to thank Hyper Chicken for the use of their theme song, Always Beezing and Doozing. You can check out their songs on SoundCloud, a link that will be in the description of this podcast. And you can find a link to the show art by Summer, another podcast host here of My Pod Cabbages, and also the designer of a lot of different podcast art here on the Noise Space Network. That will be down in the description as well. Sorry we forgot during the body of the show. It's been a while since we recorded an episode.